Hello, and thank you for taking time to watch this video today. My name is Brocc Chavis, and I serve the United Pentecostal Church as the Director of Multicultural Ministries. We are a ministry that is focused on reaching all of the cultures of the world right here in North America. This video is intended to share with you more about our purpose and goals, and I hope you'll find this informative. The vision of Multicultural Ministries is to partner with church planners, established churches, and UPCI districts to evangelize the many diverse cultures who are now calling North America their home. Ministries, resources, and strategic training to reach the global harvest locally. We believe there is a global revival here in North America. It's no coincidence that so many peoples of the world are continuing to immigrate to North America, and I believe that this is something that is God ordained. If you just simply peruse whatever search engine you like, Google it if you will, you'll easily find that the numbers of the people of the world that are coming to North America is quite staggering. Immigration is at record highs, even despite some of the tension over the past several years in the United States and Canada. We are thankful for how God is bringing His field of mission even closer to us here in North America. I believe that we are at a critical time, and we are positioned at a great place that we can win our world. I believe that our Global Missions Department is reporting that we now have missionaries in all but about somewhere between 10 and 20 nations or provinces of the world, and I may have that number just a little off, but it's within that reference point. But all of the cultures of the world are now here in North America. And so we have an opportunity to reach people here that perhaps we've not been able to reach in their field, in their home. And wouldn't that be a great and exciting thing to see someone come to the Lord here in the United States and Canada and be able to return to their home that we've not yet been able to place a missionary in, and see revival, to see the gospel being spread in every part of the earth. So we're very thankful for the opportunity that has been presenting itself. Pew Research states that more than 80% of the population growth between the year 2005 and 2050 will be from immigrants, and that number represents first generation immigrants, their children, and their grandchildren, and that percentage in a whole number is more than 118 million people. That represents what will be a tremendous population shift here in North America, and that number is encapsulating only the United States. I'm certain the numbers in Canada are in those same proportions. So what we're going to see is a tremendous population shift over the next 30 years. And for many of us who are engaging right now, that's within the lifetime of our ministry. So God is giving us a great opportunity. Here's what Multicultural Ministries is doing. We have currently established 16 ministries that are focused on specific people groups, specific language groups. And those groups range from African immigrant to Amish and Mennonite, the Burmese people, the Chinese community, Filipino, French, Haitian, Jewish, Korean, Native American, Middle Eastern, Portuguese, South Asian, Southeast Asian, and Vietnamese. And these are ministries that are focused on specific cultures. But we also have several ministries that are focused on specific cultural needs, such as the deaf community. And statistics say that there are more than 38 million deaf or hard of hearing people in North America, which represents a tremendous number of people that need the gospel. And so deaf ministry, we have a ministry called Risen that focuses on refugees and international students. More than 1 million international students come into the United States each year. And we also have a thriving ministry at the United Nations. We're thankful that God has saw fit to put our pastor Brother Wilson from Detroit, Michigan area in a position of leadership as a Goodwill Ambassador to the United Nations. And we have an ongoing Bible study there in the United Nations building. And so we're thankful to be partnered with that as well. So those ministries are focused on specific language and cultural groups and specific cultural needs. We also have several ministries that are completely focused on being a resource. One of those resources is globaltracts.com. This is a free website. I'll repeat, globaltracts.com. And on this website, we gather and make available soul-winning material, tracts, Bible studies, even video training in as many languages as we can find it translated in. We work with different groups to be able to gather this information, and you'll find a great website, globaltracts.com. Share it with anyone. Use this as much as you can. It's a free website. There's no charge for anything on this website. And we're seeing great testimonies take place where the language barrier is being broken through globaltracts.com. Go and check that out today because there's many exciting pieces of material there. This is one of the most active websites that we have, and people from all over the world, actually, not just North America, are using this website. It's a great tool for church planners. It's a great tool for any church that's in a multicultural community. Because anytime you encounter a soul where there's a language barrier, just visit that website. You'll find free downloadable material or material you can share with them to watch and view that will help them to understand the gospel in their language. So globaltracts.com. We also promote each year All Nations Sunday. All Nations Sunday is an event that we promote on a corporate date around the third Sunday of each October. It always falls on the Sunday prior to United Nations Day. And this is a day where we try to corporately celebrate the diversity and inclusivity of the United Pentecostal Church International. And many churches may celebrate their All Nations Sunday on a different day, but it's a time of year we just try to put focus on it. And of course, we focus on it all year round, but this is something where we come together in a concerted effort to pray, to seek God, and to highlight and celebrate the great diversity of our congregations in the United Pentecostal Church. In addition to these two resources, we also have a podcast, the Multicultural Connection. It can be found on our website, which is multiculturalministries.org, or you can find it through Apple iTunes. Download that podcast and hear different seminars and different teachings that are geared at helping us understand other cultures and how to evangelize different cultures. In fact, there's a number of podcasts available that talk about how to address things during times of racial tension. And so this is a tremendous resource we'd like to gear towards you and make available to you as well. We have another resource that is soon to be released, and this resource is called Mosaic. Mosaic is a diversity training curriculum for the United Pentecostal Church. It's designed to be used by districts, by pastors, or local churches, and we're even trying to make it functional so that you can use it on a small group setting. And so this program, we believe, will be able to help churches better train their staff and perhaps help make it available to districts through our district superintendents. They've been involved in this program since the beginning. Our district superintendents have received regular updates about Mosaic, and we're getting lots of excited feedback about this. We're intending to make this program available and functional in many forms, but primarily you'll be able to take this as a class from ministrycentral.com. So look for more information about Mosaic. It is going to be released here in the fall of 2020, and we're in the final stages of editing and writing now, and soon to go to video to complete our work on that project. We're very excited about how Mosaic can bless the United Pentecostal Church. We are believing God for many great things to happen, and our focus and our goal is to reach the world that is coming to North America. We want to reach every culture, every language. How do we do that? These ministries that we have help us to provide a focal point, a place of synergy and coming together. Many of our ministries host annual evangelism conferences. And I'd like to share with you that the reason for these conferences are not necessarily to be conferences that are focused only on the cultural group, but the design of the conference is for anyone who wants to learn how to evangelize that cultural group to come and be a part of it, because these are evangelism conferences. If I could say it more plainly, and I'll use the Filipino ministry for an example, our conferences are not Filipino conferences, although you will find many Filipinos in attendance. But the conference is a Filipino evangelism conference, because in that conference it's designed that you can go and gain resources to help you reach the Filipino community in your city or town. So we are trying to fulfill our mission through these ministries and through their conferences. Each of these ministries have a director who is focused on engaging the United Pentecostal Church in North America to reach these cultures, and the conferences are a part of that. But they also are providing training, they're creating resources and developing strategies to help local pastors, church planners, established churches, whatever the case may be, to reach into these cultural groups. We're very thankful for what God has done. The recording of this video is in the year 2020. But just last year in 2019, our annual report showed that more than 190 people were filled with the Holy Ghost at our ministry conferences. 53 were baptized in Jesus' name at our ministry conferences. We saw 19 churches planted within the network of multicultural ministries during that year. We saw 22 new licensed ministers that were within the multicultural ministry structure who are from different immigrant groups, which is very exciting. And we also saw many churches that were planted. Our missionary program, which I'll tell you about momentarily, reached its 78th daughter work that was planted over the past 10 years. So we're excited about the report from 2019. In speaking about that missionary program, Multicultural Ministries has a full-term missionary program that is focused on targeting cultures in North America that have barriers, whether they be language barriers or they be some type of cultural barrier. So what we do is we recruit and we send, with the approval of the executive board of the UPCI, missionaries that have expertise and have skills in reaching a particular culture of people. Over the last 10 years, we've had missionaries to the Spanish-speaking community, the Native American community, African immigrant community, and the Filipino community. And we're excited about what God has done with now more than 78 churches planted over the 10-year history of our missionary program. And we're very excited about that. These missionaries deputized, they raise their own funds, they raise their budget, and when their budget is raised, just like a global missionary or a metro missionary, when that budget is raised, they go on the field. And the way it works is that you, as a local pastor, can apply through my office, the Multicultural Ministries office, and invite a missionary to come. We'll go through the application, we'll do an interview together with you and I, and we'll place a missionary with you that's focused on that specific cultural group. Currently, we have missionaries to the Spanish-speaking people, and we have missionaries to the Native American community, and these missionaries specifically focus on reaching into reservation lands, in which you might be aware, evangelizing and spreading the gospel on a Native American reservation is a little different, or actually a lot different, than evangelizing in most communities. It takes a certain skill. It takes a certain knowledge of how the reservation works. It's not simply a situation where you could go and rent a building or begin knocking on doors, but you've got to coordinate with their tribal council, their tribal law enforcement in many cases. And so it takes someone with a little bit of skill and knowledge, and that's what our missionaries are trained to do. We're very thankful for the work that has been done, and we've now seen work started on about 14 or 16, if I'm correct, Native American reservations here in the United States and Canada. So very excited about this missionary program. When those missionaries come, they have two goals primarily. One, to plant the work, and two, to help you as the pastor train someone from your local team to carry on that work. it's a plus for us when the pastor has a person ready to lead when we come, because they're involved from the ground up. And in some cases, we help train that person when we arrive. So these missionaries come to start that work. And the goal is when they leave in 4 to 6 months, or whatever the time frame that's been established, when they leave, there is a work that is thriving. And it's our goal that in some cases these be daughter works, maybe they become autonomous works. We work with that arrangement with the pastor. Sometimes the goal is to assimilate this culture of people from the community into the local church, and that's facilitated by having specific groups or small groups or Bible studies or training in their specific language. And so it's an exciting program. We're very thankful for what God is doing through our missionary program. And just recently, we have launched our short-term missionary program as well, which is called Cultivate. And Cultivate is a program that focuses on young adults and young married couples. I want to emphasize that, to get engaged in cultures, community, and a calling right here in North America. As we've said, the world has come to North America, and many of these cultures have barriers. They're right here in North America, and North America has now become, in many places, a mission field in and of itself. So our Cultivate program offers 3 types of missions. One is a AYC type mission where someone could go and spend 10 to 15 days with a missionary. The second is an AIM type mission where they could spend from 1 to 3 months as a part of the missionary team on site. And then we're also promoting a internship mission where someone would come in and work with one of our ministries about 30 days out from a ministry conference and be involved in the planning, the coordinating, and the evangelism involved in that missionary conference, and also receive training on multicultural topics that are going to help them glean information they can take to their home churches and home communities as well. So we're very thankful for what God is doing. At the end of it all, we have a very simple goal, and that's to reach souls. It should not be that language barriers, it should not be that cultural barriers, it should not be that any type of barrier should keep us as the United Pentecostal Church from reaching into communities, whether they speak a foreign language or whether that person is deaf and is not able to speak English and completely communicates with ASL. I want to tell you, it's the heartbeat of Multicultural Ministries to reach into every culture, to raise up a work, to spread the gospel and see people saved. That's the bottom line of what we do, to see people saved and to work with local pastors and leaders and to provide tools and resources that will help them and that will equip them to reach across these barriers in their local community. So thank you for watching and being a part of this. I'm very thankful to be involved with Multicultural Ministries and know that it can be a blessing to you, your district, and your church. God bless you.